Took the hit as Oakley moved to his right to close the lane and was called for the foul. The Timberwolves gave up a club record 77 points in the first half to Denver. Denver and Minnesota each attempted 51 foul shots. That's a Minnesota club record, and it went an interminable 2.5 hours.
Well, that announces to the Knicks that Minnesota can certainly be scored upon, so their job will be to keep them down and just go out and play a natural game and use their skills. They should be able to roll through the T-Wolves tonight.
Last touch by the Knicks. We mentioned that, yes, the Timberwolves have shown they can be scored upon. They have given up over the last 3 games an average 121 points per game. The Knicks, of course, have had trouble with their offense. That is deflected out by the Knicks.
See Leitner out high handling the ball a lot. One of his many skills is his ability to handle the ball with good judgment.
West rejected by Ewing. Kept alive, though. West, that shot altered by Ewing, and a foul is called. The outside official, Paul Mahalik, calls it on the Knicks.
West excelling in his movement to the basket. Spencer with the long arms gets that ball loose, and West with good jumping ability keeps active underneath, as does Felton Spencer.
Foul on Oakley. That's his second, so it is an early departure as Charles Smith comes on.
First call against Oakley was a rough one. He was standing stationary, and one of the Timberwolves players just drove into him, and he was guilty of the foul.
Person off a pick and roll. That's 2-point range.
There can be no hesitation guarding Person. You've got to come at him with your arms up, distracting him. You've got to be a defensive force on him.
Knicks lead it 6-5. Blackman twisting in. And here's West for the T-Wolves. Stopped by Campbell. Michael Williams. Minnesota by 1.
In transition, the Knicks were too slow identifying their men. Williams was unguarded.
Ewing. And it's rebounded by Williams. Michael Williams setting it up. Leitner. Played now by Smith. Person off the screen. Leitner. And back comes Campbell.
Crowd oohing on Leitner's miss.
Campbell was held. And the foul charged to Person. Chuck Person spent 6 years with the Indiana Pacers. In recent years, often the focal point of trade speculation. Finally, last September, he was dealt along with Michael Williams for Pooh Richardson and Sam Mitchell. You know, Chuck Person is now Indiana's all-time leading scorer, and he is #1 because last year he passed by a fellow by the name of Herb Williams. Scored by Patrick Ewing. The Knicks lead 8-7. Herb Williams then went on to Dallas and now a member of the New York Knicks. Here is Person. Again, an open shot.
Unguarded. Chuck Person appreciates that. Nice when you don't have a defensive man in front of you.
Minnesota with a 1-point lead. Ewing with the drop step for the hook. Rebounded by Person.
Knicks haven't had a sign of an offensive rebound. You know what Pat Riley would like to see, and that is for his team to get out fast and sharp and not even give the Timberwolves an inkling that they could bother them in this game, and it's not happening so far.
And it will be Minnesota ball. Leitner with 4 on the shot clock. Nicely done by Christian Leitner, and that is his first field goal. So the Timberwolves now lead 11-8. Blackman took the hit from Person. That is his second foul. And now the Timberwolves call for time with 6 minutes 46 seconds to go in this opening quarter.
Joel Samuelson drives it around the boards. Leach keeps it in. Looks at the Messier. He's picked up by Samuelson. And he clears. Loney and Airy on with Joel Samuelson. Power play goal!
That appeared to be almost at an impossible angle as Amonte tipped the puck in. And congratulations to young Mike Hurlbut with his first NHL point. And he makes a nice little tip pass right there to Leach, who fires the puck down to Amonte. And nearly impossible the angle that Amonte's at. He scores.
Watch this. Finally!
And you can see the look on his face. Gartner attracts attention. The puck appeared to be going wide. There was Amonte, and he bangs the puck in behind. The Rangers regain the lead.
Tony Amonte with the power play goal.
Knicks got that shooting touch back last night against the Bullets. First time since opening night they were above 50%. Pat Riley, however, had to love the defense. The opponents, the Bullets, last night shot only 43%.
Knicks have opened up here. Now 5 of 8 as Patrick Ewing by 1. 6:20 remaining in this first quarter. Person. And Chuck Person has hit on 4 out of 4. Timberwolves lead 13-10. Person with 9 of the 13 points. However, he does have 2 personal fouls. Anthony Mason getting set to check in as Campbell rims the basket, rebounded by Spencer.
Leitner did a nice job denying Charles Smith the ball. He was trying to get position. Leitner physically pushed him out.
Last night, Anthony Mason responded extremely well to the benching. Person again. He's on fire. He's 5 of 5. 11 points. That includes a 3-pointer. Minnesota leads 15-10.
Knicks have got to start thinking about guarding Person before he gets the ball.
Blackman tried to lose West off a pick along the baseline. Ewing, yes. Patrick Ewing, 4 of 6. He has 8 points. Minnesota leading the Knicks 15-12. Good shooting first quarter for both clubs. Leitner very close to a travel. Shot clock at 6. Oh, pretty pass from Williams, finding West. Michael Williams last year with the Pacers among the leaders in assists. Getting that one on the hop to Doug West. Minnesota leads 17-12. And John Starks about to reappear. He does live. Smith with a good play, but Leitner able to get to it. John Starks getting set to check in. Leitner through the foul. And here comes John Starks, who last saw NBA action last Thursday night in the first half against the Los Angeles Clippers. Benched last night, benched Saturday against Orlando.
Doc Rivers said last night, referring to John Starks, boy, I feel sorry for the man he's playing when he returns. He is going to be a Tiger, and that's just what the Knicks need now, because the Knicks have allowed the T-Wolves to feel very comfortable here at home, and there's no reason for them thus far to feel that they can't bother the Knicks and go all the way in this game. The Knicks have got to toughen up defensively.
And Pat Riley upset about the excessive chatter on the court by John Starks. Also would like to see better shot selection. Would like to see John get back to the good defensive ways that we saw the last couple of years. Here's Smith. So Charles Smith connects. Minnesota leading by the score of 19-14. Last night, both Anthony Mason and Greg Anthony, who made their return from the benchings, played well and were instrumental in that victory over Washington. Foul committed by Starks.
Tony Campbell did not do the job on Chuck Person here in the opening quarter. Also, Tony didn't have the touch so far in this game anyway, so Pat Riley goes to Anthony Mason to shut down Chuck Person. That is Anthony Mason's game.
Well, Tony Campbell played about 7 minutes of the first quarter back here in Minnesota. Did not score. Person coming off the pick, then try to give it up to Leitner. Good idea. Did not work. Knicks with the numbers. Rivers for Starks, being guarded by West. Mason. And Anthony Mason cuts it to a 3-point Minnesota lead.
Well, if I can see a little bit of Greg Anthony and John Starks, he will be a little reluctant to let the long shots go, I believe, until he feels comfortable and does other things than score.
Leitner and Ewing getting the good inside position. Starks gets it down for Smith. Played it off the deflection. And the Knicks trail by 1 as we approach 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Person. Chuck in one of those quarters where he feels it, so he's shooting at every opportunity. Starks rejected. The block by Felton Spencer. Here's Williams putting the head fake on Smith and blocked by Ewing. Loose ball foul has been called, and it's called on Spencer. We'll be right back.
Historic moment is brought to you by CS Service. One is a great reason to buy the other. Moments ago, the Knicks showed a classic example of basic basketball. The rebound by Ewing, the pitch out half-court. Starks to the big man. And a noisy stuff by Charles Smith to finish off that nicely executed break.
Brad Sellers has checked in for the first time. Knicks 9 of 16 from the field, and Minnesota 8 of 17. Luke Longley also on the floor for the first time tonight. Here's Smith putting the move on Leitner, and rebounded by Leitner. Luke Longley in his second year out of New Mexico by way of Australia, played for the Australian Olympic team. A first-round draft pick last season.
He chose to sign in mid-November, so he missed that training camp and paid for it. He had a very unimpressive debut.
Good play by Doc Rivers, stripping Doug West. So it's West and Williams in the backcourt. Sellers up front with Longley and Leitner. Shot clock down to 2. Longley. Starks. Yes. John Starks with his first field goal. Knicks lead 20-19.
Good look by Rivers. Starks was running hard. He beat the defense down court.
West. Well, after the good start, the T-Wolves struggling from the field. Here's Smith. Mason met by Longley, and the Knicks regroup.
Stark showing considerable patience out there, not rushing things.
And Longley to the rebound. Longley now posting up. Rejected by Ewing.
Too slow on the execution.
Luke Longley goes 7'2", 265 pounds. Last touched by Minnesota. Luke Longley may have turned out to be the best 7'2" guard taken in the draft last year. He's a good passer, but has not shown very much else.
Longley a little slow getting this shot attempt up. Ewing right on the case. Patrick slowly getting the blocks now that had been eluding him the first 5 games. That was his 9th of the season.
Incidentally, there are 65 fans from Australia who are touring America and have stopped by and on hand to check out their native son for tonight's game. There's nothing enthralling for them to this point. Lance Blanks has come on for the first time. Starks hits on the reverse. And the Knicks have taken charge. They now lead 22-19.
And Longley was the victim.
The Timberwolves have not scored in over 4 minutes here at the tail end of this first quarter. This is Greg Anthony just checked in guarding Michael Williams. Knicks with 10 unanswered points. Wild shot by Thurl Bailey.
See, Marv, that's how long it's been since you've seen a hook shot last.
Well, not from that far out, John.
It was inside the foul. It was very nice.
A bad shot.
I approve.
Well, if a guy took a hook shot at center court, you'd like it.
No, a hook shot's a comfortable shot. You just don't see them enough. I'll show you sometime.
John, why don't you get some of the film from the 50s? And Starks is able to connect that you lock yourself up in your apartment with. And to share it with all of us. And that's the end of the first quarter as the Timberwolves go the final 4:36 of this first quarter without scoring. Knicks lead by 5.
Room, and
It's like bedlam we get when we see each other at the airport.
Club time, you know. We talk about everything.
People ask,
And-
we get so excited. People ask us, they go, have you seen each other lately? Like, yeah, we just saw her yesterday. My God, you guys are so excited. And that's where that song came from.
Right. Yeah.
A real winner knows how to party right. Please use good sense when you drink and know when to say when. Reminder from Budweiser.
Well, following the game here in Minneapolis, Knicks back at Madison Square Garden going up against the NBA champion Chicago Bulls. That'll be a afternoon game at the Garden. Saturday at 1 following a special edition of New York Knicks game night. The Knicks against Michael and the Bulls. First of 4 this season against Chicago. Knicks 0-4 regular season last year against the Bulls, but extended them to that memorable 7-game Eastern semifinal series. Second quarter is underway. Knicks lead 24-19. They have reeled off 12 unanswered points. Timberwolves did not score the last 4:36 of the first quarter. And it will be Nick Ball. The Knicks with a backcourt of Greg Anthony and John Starks. Up front, Patrick Ewing, Charles Smith, and Anthony Mason. So that's the first turnover of the game for the Knicks. The 3 Knick players who were benched, or as Pat Riley likes to say, out of the rotation on Saturday against Orlando, are all on the floor here as we get underway in the second quarter. Longley fouled by Anthony. Greg Anthony with an outstanding effort last night. 16 minutes, not looking for the shot, looking to set people up, and came up with 7 assists in the 16 minutes.
Yes, he really hit the peak last night of efficiency as a guard.
Here's Bailey off the screen. Mason with the good inside position. Oh, nice peg from Anthony. Ewing unable to stuff it, but the long rebound handled by Anthony.
Patrick is slowly picking himself up after that.
Starks for 3. Rebound Smith, and he fouled. Charles Smith has been a presence in this first half, and he'll go to the foul line.
Fortunately, on the last play involving Patrick Ewing, he wasn't hurt as he tried to go for this monster jam, and he took a major flop, lost his balance, slowly got to his feet. But Charles Smith, by hanging around the boards, is beginning to bother the Timberwolves, getting some offensive rebounds. I'm surprised Chuck Person has been out as long as he has been with those 2 fouls. He was so important to this team offensively.
Smith a 74% free throw shooter. Knicks now lead by 6. 13 unanswered points. And Sellers gets to it. 6:03 and counting for the Timberwolves. Throwing up a blank. Have not scored in over 6 minutes. Williams and blanks on the subject of a blank in the backcourt. Here's Michael Williams. Longley. And finally, the Timberwolves convert. Mason. Knicks 27 and Minnesota 21.
Knicks operating against a lot of height out there with Sellers, a 7-footer, along with Longley, and Thurl Bailey at 6'11".
Bailey backing, goes to the hook again. And it was knocked out from underneath Paul Mahalik. I think the only question is who knocked it out. Was it Minnesota or New York? And Mahalik says it was Ewing, so the basket will count.
In retrospect, you see it as Ewing, Marv? I thought it might have been Longley at the end. The official.
Tough to see. I'd have to take another look at that one. That's something that Paul Mahalik does not have the luxury to do.
Bailey gets the shot, though.
Ewing. And rebounded by Sellers. So for those of you scoring at home, the Timberwolves go 6 minutes and 29 seconds without scoring a point.
And yet they're only 4 points away.
Blanks rejected by Smith. Anthony with a good play leads Ewing. And the Timberwolves felt that Ewing should have been called for traveling. The Knicks lead 29 to 23. 10 points for Patrick Ewing. Timeout called. 22nd timeout taken by Minnesota. All right, we will get another look at that.
On that hook shot by Thurl Bailey, the Knicks in good rebounding position. Ball up at the rim. Ewing comes by. Might have got it at the bottom as the ball dropped down. It appeared Ewing, as he came back to the floor, took a swipe at that ball. And Ewing will get this pass from Greg Anthony. Ooh. And Ewing will take an extra step, not get called for it, and hit that important two-pointer that the Knicks need to pull away from the Timberwolves.
17-4 run by the Knicks. So a 6-point lead as a timeout is called. At one point they reeled off 13 straight. They have a 17-4 spurt going. Chuck Person has checked back in, as has Charles Oakley for the Knicks. So Patrick Ewing sitting down. This is West guarded by Starks. Here's Person wasting no time.
I think that might have been a backboard pass intended for Leighton Marv. He missed big time.
Anthony, nicely done by Greg Anthony. The Knicks now lead 31-23. Another substitution for Minnesota. Chris Smith, rookie from the University of Connecticut, making his first appearance. And Smith with it. West. And it's stolen by Anthony off a deflection. Person back. Did not want to pick up number 3. Anthony, well aware of that, went right at him and was able to hit as Person stepped away.
You know, Marv, that might be the first time this season Greg Anthony has had successive runs of shots around the basket that went in.
So the Knicks now lead 33-25. Doug West with a second field goal, but he's 2 of 7 from the floor. Knicks with Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. Smith with Mason and Oakley up front. Oakley trying to prevent the backcourt violation. West right there.
Oh, Charles. Not thinking at all.
Oakley with a glance in the direction of Pat Riley was looking for a reaction. Just under 7 minutes to go in this first half. Pick and roll, well executed, and Smith draws the foul. Nice pass from Starks.
Charles Smith talking back to the crowd as he ambles his way to the foul line.
Longley was called for that foul. Longley is up front now with Person and Leitner. Timberwolves have a backcourt of Doug West and Chris Smith. Chris Smith, a second-round pick, the second of 3 selections by Minnesota. UConn's all-time leading scorer, all Big East first team as a senior, and one of the finalists for the Wooden Trophy as top player in the country. Chris Smith coming off a very impressive run at Connecticut. Still 6-point lead for the Knicks. Leitner with the room. Second field goal for Leitner. He has 6 points, and the Knicks now lead 33-29. Starks, yes, and he has had the touch. 4 of 6, 8 points, making his return here tonight.
He's looking sharp in all aspects of the game.
Longley.
Smith yelling out a play.
Anthony thought he had it. Person with the timeout. A good play by Chuck Person. And now this is a 20-second timeout. This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event without the express written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated is prohibited. Pat Riley with his club up by 6 points, just under 6 minutes to go in this first half, and looking ahead at a difficult weekend. Home for Chicago on Saturday, and then they play the Pistons at the Palace on Sunday. Detroit has been having its problems at 2-7, but that's always a tough chore playing at Detroit. Then next Tuesday back home for Portland. And last touch by Minnesota, so the Knicks will get it back. Here's Patrick Ewing returning, and he replaces Charles Smith, who leads with 5 points, 6 rebounds.
The play by Greg Anthony will not draw a lot of attention, but it was important in causing that turnover by the Timberwolves. He played his man tightly, deflected that ball, and went into the hands of the Knicks.
Ewing getting the possession. Rebound handled by Oakley. 5.5 remaining in this first half. Starks for the open 3. Rebound Person. Person played on the switch by Anthony. And here's Smith.
Good transition defense by the Timberwolves. The Knicks were trying to run. They were trying to execute a break.
Mason. And Person again able to get to it. Minnesota shooting only 38% from the field, while the Knicks at 50%. Leitner. Leitner beating his man up high and then able to hit on the drive.
A lot of skill shown by a man 6'11", driving out of the corner.
Starks thought that Ewing was rolling to the basket.
And he should have been. Starks executed a nice lead pass, and Patrick wasn't even thinking about it.
And they are discussing it. And looks to be a little difference of opinion. Michael Williams checks back in. 4:20 remaining in this first half. Now Person backing Mason. Shot clock at 1. 24-second violation. Substitutions, Doc Rivers, Rolando Blackman return, replacing Greg Anthony and John Starks. John Starks played well, 4 of 7 from the field, 8 points, did not force the issue, looked to set people up, took good shots.
Ewing coming out high as Mason and Rolando worked down low. Play set up for Mason inside.
And he's stripped by Leitner. Good play by Christian Leitner. Felton Spencer is back, so it's Spencer up front with Person. And Leitner, Weston Williams in the backcourt. Here's Blackman. Yes. Blackman's second field goal. He has 4. The Knicks 37, Minnesota 31.
Marv, Rolando brings to the Knicks something they haven't had in a long time, and that is something I was harping about the other day. Medium range jump shooting. He's so good in that area.
And Leitner shows the outside touch once again. 10 points for Christian Leitner. Chuck Person, high man for Minnesota with 11. Leitner on the steal attempt. And here's the applause for the hustle. The Knicks asking for a timeout. 3:20 to go, first half. The Knicks lead by 4.
Vacation moments ago, John Starks was in the game. He's not in now, but Ewing sets a pick for Starks. And Starks assuming that Patrick will be looking for a return when the pick worked out, but Patrick wasn't. He wasn't ready, and the pass had a little too much on it, and they had some communication as they came back court. Patrick Ewing clearly unhappy about that.
Rivers. Knicks shooting, staying right at the 50% mark. But what has to be of more significance to the coaching staff is that the Knicks shot selection has been excellent in this first half. They now lead 39-33, just under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Leitner spinning. Person for 3. And Oakley gets to it.
Mason's putting his hand in Person's stomach, and he's pushing him further and further out.
Here's Ewing. Yes. Patrick Ewing has 12. He's hit on 6 of 12. The Knicks now lead 41-33. Knicks led by 5 at the end of 1. Rolled off 13 unanswered points. They had a 21-4 spurt as Minnesota went 6 minutes 29 seconds over one stretch without scoring a point.
Nice give and go, but it didn't go back to Leitner.
Spencer able to recover. Rivers able to draw the charge. Foul committed by Felton Spencer. Doc kind of let the officials know that he was hit.
Yes, he did, and we'll get another look at it. Doc, not only looking like he's hurt badly, had a sound that went along with that look.
Just under 2 minutes remaining, first half. Mason spinning around West, taking advantage off the feed from Rivers, and the Knicks have opened up a 10-point lead.
Now that was a mismatch in weight favoring Anthony Mason. He went right to it.
Oh, what a setup from Michael Williams to Christian Leitner. And Leitner collided with Rivers. 43-35. The Knicks with the lead. Back to 10. Patrick Ewing on fire. He has 14.
Jimmy Rogers needs a center, no question about it. But I don't. You get the feeling looking at Spencer that he feels he's going to play all game no matter what he does. He is very quiet out there. He's soft.
And Blackman breaks it up. 1 minute remaining in this first half. Last year, Felton Spencer, injury hit. Missed 21 games with an eye injury, sprained ankle. Seemed to regress also after the promising rookie year. Oakley to the boards.
What timing by Oakley. He was right up with that ball as it came right off the rim.
And the foul called on the Timberwolves. On Leitner, his first.
First team foul in the final 2 minutes of the quarter.
Marv, this is the first time I've seen Leitner in person, and he has been very impressive here in the first half.
Rivers stopped. Williams got a piece of it. Person passing on the three to go to the drive, and he's fouled.
I can't believe what I saw. A person lining up the shot, and like two policemen arriving at the scene, Oakley and Ewing come running at him, and person just runs right around them. What was what was the name of the game there? There was no defensive stance. They just ran right by the guy.
And then Rivers grabbed the jersey of person. Chuck spun around, ready to go, and then realized that Doc Rivers was just trying to get his balance.
Midas bench breakdown shows the advantage the Knicks have enjoyed in earlier games tonight. This is a big one. 23 points over the Wolves, 4 points. John Starks, making his return to the Knicks lineup, has done a very nice job.
And Starks back on the floor. Chuck Person has had his difficulties at the line this season. Only 56% from the free throw line. 1 of 2 right there. Knicks now lead 45-36, and they're holding for a final shot as this first half winds down. 10 seconds to go. Out of 5. Starks. 1 and 2/10 seconds remaining on the game clock. That was the differential between the 24 and time remaining in the half. Now they change it to 1.7 as Leitner inbounds to Williams, gets it away. So that's the end of the first half here in Minneapolis. The Knicks 45 and the Timberwolves 36. Bob Page coming up at the MSG Sports Desk, and we'll take a look at some of the first half highlights. The Knicks leading.
Fouls, but the way they're shooting, I'm sure he has no complaints.
The Knicks open up with a backcourt of Doc Rivers and Rolando Blackman, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and Tony Campbell up front. The combination of Campbell and Oakley did not score in the first half. Oakley with the rebound. Michael Williams in the backcourt with Doug West. Here's Leitner going all the way, went to the left hand, and he drew the foul. It's Leitner up front along with Person and Longley. And Oakley is called for his 3rd foul.
Of course, Marv, there's no way to judge a subject that has gotten a lot of attention, and that is how much did the summer experience with the NBA Dream Team affect Christian Leitner's development. He certainly, to me, looks like a very comfortable player out there, not like a rookie. There's not a notion of tentativeness in his play. He's playing with a lot of self-assuredness out there.
He has 14 points, comes in averaging 17 per game. The Knicks lead by 7. Blackman played by West. Campbell guarded by Person. Here is Campbell. And Ewing with a gorgeous tip.
You don't see that very often from Patrick, the one-handed tip in. That was pretty.
16 for Ewing. Leitner being guarded by Oakley. On the recovery, shot clock running down. West threw it up from 3-point range. Williams able to get to it. Longley had the shot, but instead of taking it in, fed back the other way and turned it over.
The last Knicks basket, Patrick Ewing goes to the boards. Coaches love that. When you go to the boards, sometimes you get lucky and the ball comes your way.
John, I must say this is a very compassionate crowd. Now there's Tony Campbell with his first basket. They did have successful NBA basketball here back in the 40s and the 50s. Minneapolis Lakers, a championship club over a number of seasons. This is the 4th year. Campbell called for the foul. This is the 4th season for the expansionist Timberwolves. And this off to a slow start once again. They dropped 4 in a row. They're 2-6. Last year they were 15-67. Leitner, one of the players providing some hope for this franchise, but last year only one player, Doug West, shot better than 50%. Here's Campbell again. So Tony Campbell has given the Knicks a 51-40 lead, but this crowd has taken it all very well. You rarely hear booing.
I think, Marv, that personifies also the behavior of people in this town. A very friendly atmosphere here as Christian Leitner is giving Charles Oakley quite an exhibition. He sailed around him and executed a beautiful drive when Ewing came over, and then he showed him the jump shot just now.
9-point Knick lead. Ewing, yes. Excellent Knick shooting right throughout. They're now up over 53%. Ewing 9 of 16. He has 18 points. Knicks by 11. Person. Well, Chuck Person, after hitting his first 5, has missed his last 5 field goal attempts.
Well, he sat down after those 2 fouls he committed. He has not established that touch once again. It's important also for Tony Campbell to show he can play some defense on him, and he is so far.
The steal by Williams. West ahead of the field. It counts, and the foul. A reach-in called on Blackman.
Well, Michael Williams gets his hands on the basketball. Sees his teammate West out in front of everybody. West at 6'6" can take that ball high to the rim.
Doug West in his 4th year out of Villanova, 2nd-round pick back in '89. And has really improved his foul shooting last couple of years. West with a 3-point play, and the Knicks now lead by 8 with 8:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Michael Williams all over Doc Rivers. 5 of the 24. Blackman. Oh, did well to get it off. Ewing with the follow.
Great pressure on the offensive boards by the Knicks. That wasn't their strength earlier in the game, but they've gotten to make it a habit now.
Michael Williams able to get back to the ball. Here's Leitner. Rushing by Oakley, who gave him the shoulder. Oakley called for his 4th, and Leitner will go to the line.
Christian Leitner has demonstrated many ways to get the ball up to the basket, whether he's jump shooting or driving. That left hand shows a lot of development. He's done it a couple of times tonight. In fact, that's the 2nd time here in the 3rd quarter that he's driven around Oakley and scored with the left hand.
Anthony Mason replacing Charles Oakley. Leitner with a 3-point play. He has 21. He's hit 8 of 11 from the field and 5 for 5 from the line. Knicks 55, the Timberwolves 48. Ewing had it knocked away, again able to recover. Campbell with the tip. Mason recaptured. Nice fake. And Leitner able to come up with it, but he's called for a double dribble.
Leitner said something to Anthony Mason. However, it was with a smile.
Here's Charles Smith providing a rest for Patrick Ewing for the 2nd straight night. An outstanding performance by Ewing. The Knicks have led by as many as 11. And they now lead by 9. Rolando Blackman has certainly regained the touch.
That's his game, coming around off a pick and taking that foul line jumper.
6 points for Blackman. He's hit 3 of 5. The Knicks with a 57-48 advantage.
Person wants to take Campbell down low. That seems to be his plan every time.
Well, Leitner had hit his last 8 from deep. Mason able to extend to get to it. Now getting on Luke Longley. Rivers, yes. Good play by Mason. He saw the open man. Got it to Rivers. Rivers converting. Timeout taken by Minnesota. The Knicks lead by 11.
That our Dutch boy in the paint numbers are on target here in the Target Center tonight. The Knicks doing a much bigger job on the boards than the Timberwolves, and it's expressing itself on the scoreboard as they are continuing to convert their offensive rebounds. The advantage they have has been very important in this lead that the Knicks enjoy right now, the lead of 11 points. On second chance points, specifically, those offensive rebounds have turned into a 13-4 advantage.
And a substitution for the Timberwolves. Bob McCann, 3-year player from Morehead State, New Jersey product from Morristown, making his first appearance. Bang, that's McCann with it, number 30. West. So Doug West hits, and the Knicks now lead 59-50.
He was well played by Blackman.
6 minutes remaining. Third quarter. Thanksgiving Eve in Minneapolis. Finger roll misfired. And here's Williams. Mason had it knocked away by McCann. Leitner off a triple.
Leitner is a worker. He outworked 3 of the Knicks.
Leitner has 23 to lead Minnesota. A one-time Timberwolves, Campbell, in a one-on-one against Person, and you know he enjoyed that one.
Oh, that was special. It also might have gotten him to the bench had he missed it. He went one-on-one.
3 of 8, 6 points for Campbell. The Knicks lead by 9. Here's West. And Campbell with the rebound. John Starks, who played well in the first half, is getting set to return. Just under 5 minutes remaining. Third quarter. Mason wheeling in on McCann. Nice move by Mason. Knicks back to the 11-point lead. It matches their longest lead of the game.
I know Pat Riley would like to see more presence from Charles Smith in this game.
Person. Been a long time between field goals for Chuck Person. In his first 5, missed his 5 previous. Smith with the rebound. And Person gets to it. Person's done a good job off the boards. Hesitation dribble from Michael Williams. And he drew the foul. It's on Blackman. John Starks being waved in. And he replaces Rolando Blackman. Foul on Blackman, his second. And Michael Williams, one of the league's best free throw shooters, to the line. He's at 88% for this season. Michael Williams began his NBA career as a second-round pick of Detroit back in '88. Saw limited action there after he earned a world championship ring for the '88-'89 season, then went on to Phoenix, Charlotte, Dallas, the CBA before finding a home with Indiana, emerged as the starting point guard. And now on to the Timberwolves.
Charles Smith has had a bit of a problem announcing to his teammates he's in position to receive, but he didn't on that play. He rolled in and drew a foul from Leitner. A nice, strong power move to the basket.
Patrick Ewing back. Tony Campbell sitting down with 6 points. So the Knicks go with Ewing up front along with Mason and Smith. Pass off the mark. And here's Leitner all the way. One count. Offensive interference.
Bob McCann did his best, but his timing was off. Leitner moving that ball up court, showing how he can handle the ball. And McCann gets his hand on the ball before it cleared the rim.
The Knicks with an 8-point lead, 3.5 left in the third quarter. Mason pulling his way. Oh, what a move by Mason. He went right at Person.
And he also showed versatility with the right hand this time.
10 points for Mason. Knicks lead by 10. Good defensive work by Mason on Person. Here's West. He can lead. Doug West participated in the slam dunk competition last year. He gets way up there, as we just saw that turnaround shot. Ewing had it knocked away by McCann. Timeout is called by Pat Riley. 2:48 left in the third.
Your win on the draw in the Pittsburgh zone, and then Leach shows a little magic to get the puck to the front. You know, the Rangers battle. This is when you win on the road, you have to battle in front of the other team's goal. The Rangers have had a couple of strong plays and scored a couple of goals right from battles in front of Pittsburgh's goal, and there you see Turcotte celebrating.
Now here's Brian Leach.
Messier had a great second period. He knows where everybody is on the ice. Look at that. 3 Penguins surrounded him like a triangle. He dropped the puck back. Leach gets to the forehand side, looks up, no options available but the shot. Top corner. What a beauty.
And the Rangers have the 5-3 lead. Stay tuned. Coming up next, an update at the MSG Sports.
A reminder from Budweiser. Another reminder to ring in the holiday season with the Winans One Family Holiday Tour presented by the Coca-Cola Concert Series this Friday, November 27th at 8 p.m. at the Paramount. Tickets still available at the Garden Box office and all Ticketmaster locations. Charge 212-307-7171.
Greg Anthony has checked back in. The shot clock running down, and Anthony was able to hit. He's in 3 of 3, 6 points. 9 minutes of play, so it's all going well for Greg Anthony the last couple of nights. Following the benching, Knicks by 10. We come up on 2 minutes remaining in the third. Here's Leitner throwing it in the face of his Olympic teammate Patrick Ewing. I must say, John, as we watch the Starks try to feed Smith, Minnesota Timberwolves do lead the world in terms of most Olympians on one squad, along with Christian Leitner. Luke Longley played for the Australian Olympic team in Barcelona. And Gundars Vetra, the 12th man on the squad, played for the unified team in the Olympics. Here's Leitner again. He has 27. And the Knicks lead is trimmed to 6. That is his NBA high. Christian Leitner with 27. Crowd getting into it now.
The crowd senses an intensity level, Marv, from their home team, and also Leitner is carrying this team offensively here in the third quarter.
Leitner called for a charge. That time a little over-anxious. Trying to force the issue.
You know, I must say, I don't know when I've seen a 6'11 man, forget the fact that he's a rookie, work so effectively outside the foul line.
Knicks lead 67-61. Ewing off a double team. Gave it up, but a foul is called. It's on McCann.
So much of Leitner's work begins outside the foul line. Many times it ends up underneath, but sometimes it's effective outside. Here he drives, one of his many drives tonight, but he commits the offensive foul. Leitner had no turnovers in 20 minutes of the first half.
15 of his 27 coming in this third quarter. That's an illegal defense call for the first time. We've had very few whistles tonight. In the free throw department, Knicks have gone to the line only 4 times. 1 of 4 from the line. And the Timberwolves, 10 free throws. They're 8 of 10. This in contrast to what took place during the Denver Minnesota game in Denver on Saturday.
Well, unknowingly, the Knicks are keeping the Timberwolves off the foul line, which is good because they're the best foul shooting team in the NBA coming in tonight as Patrick Ewing cans another 2.
22 points for Ewing. Knicks lead 69-61. 35 seconds left. Third quarter. Out of 10 on the 24. Williams. And kept alive by Michael Williams. And the Timberwolves will hold for 1 shot. Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Williams bottled up, was fouled with 2 8/10 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Well, the Timberwolves have shown the Knicks a different look than they're used to seeing. In prior visits against the Timberwolves, it has been mainly Pooh Richardson and Tony Campbell as the main people to deal with. But now with Christian Laettner out there, along with Chuck Person and the speedy Michael Williams, among others, there are many more options for the Timberwolves to work from. Williams is doing a nice job here tonight, as you can see, with 10 assists already.
Earl Bailey reports back, replacing Chuck Person. 2 8/10 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Knicks led by as many as 11. Now lead by 6. Inbounds handled by Starks. And he hits it. That was 2-point range going glass. John Starks with a buzzer basket. And that concludes the third quarter. Timberwolves can't quite believe what they saw, but a good pass by Charles Smith to set it up. So after 3, as you take another look, Starks beating West to it. West fell down and then banging it home off the backboard. It's the Knicks 72. The Minnesota Timberwolves 63.
My brother, about to become a father.
Well, how big can a crib be? Season tickets went on sale today, Mike. And, well, maybe next year. He's gone 5 years straight.
Yeah.
Is this about the kid? The kid get it for free, you know.
It's gonna be a little tight.
Mike, this year's on me.
Only one beer has the taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Budweiser.
Now, the new little guy's going to every game, right?
Bobby, it could be a girl.
A girl?
As a truck company for 90 years, we understand the value of a strong frame. A reassuring strength for towing, whether you're on road or off road. GMC Truck, the strength of experience.
Everybody used to come in and say, you know, the R in your sign is backwards. Kids play with the
A and the New York Knicks.
One of the reasons that this game is so close is because of this rookie, Christian Laettner. 15 points in the third quarter. He's already achieved his NBA high this season with 27 points through 3 quarters. Laettner with the good hands underneath the basket on that pass has had an excellent game.
And he's hit 10 out of his last 12. Williams rejected by Smith. Anthony dishing off to Ewing. Good look again by Greg Anthony.
A lovely shot by Ewing.
The Knicks now lead by 10 as this fourth quarter gets underway. That lead broken up by Starks, finds Ewing in the open floor, puts the move on Williams and hits.
That's amazing. What athleticism exhibited by Ewing. Sensed the smaller man in front of him, pull back, a logical setting for an offensive foul, and he didn't do it.
And Michael Williams came up hobbling. He was trying to backpedal, and he is being checked out by the Minnesota trainer Jay Jensen.
John Starks moments ago sends Ewing out in front of the field. He sees the smaller man in front of him, and Ewing threw up that beautiful soft touch and worked it all out. That was Williams hustling to get back to bother Patrick Ewing. Williams got shaken up on that play.
Michael Williams indicating that he's all right. Patrick Ewing now with 26 points. John, here's an oddity for you. In each of the first 3 quarters, the Knicks shot 52% each quarter. What does that tell us?
That they have been very consistent from the field tonight. How's that, teacher?
Knicks with their biggest lead of the game, a 12-point margin. And it's a 24-second violation. And right now, the Timberwolves, who put a run on, are in chaos. Jimmy Rogers, in his second season as coach of Minnesota, after 2 as head man with the Celtics, longtime assistant with the Boston Celtics.
Jimmy Rogers sensing feeling some criticism lately, though. A big column in the local paper today about how his team is playing soft and without much enthusiasm. Suggestion that he is under pressure here in Minnesota, the friendly town. Jimmy is a very humble guy, very soft-spoken gentleman, and his team throughout this early part of the season has not come up hard enough against many of their opponents, particularly the Denver loss. That's really what got under the skin of some critics here, and they just have been playing too soft in the eyes of many.
Leitner setting up on the back dribble. Played well by Smith. And it leads to the travel.
He moved that pivot foot. He was all set, and then he forgot which was his pivot foot. And to escape the pressure, he stepped back. It's an unusual play.
Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Smith, and Mason up front. 2 minutes in, 4th quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres from the Target Center in Minneapolis. Here is Ewing. Patrick Ewing dominating this game. He's taken over. He has 28 points.
That's the number he hit last night also as he took over that game.
Person for 3. And able to run it down. Williams. So Michael Williams with 7 points. His shooting has been way off. The assist total we showed you a moment ago high, but Michael Williams only 2 of 10 from the field. Charles Smith beating Christian Leitner, and Jimmy Rogers will call for time.
The pass from Starks was right on.
The Knicks lead it by 14.
Something to drink, sir?
Yeah, make it a Bud Light.
Sorry, we just...
Package. A pair of Knicks tickets to 5 games, including the Chicago Bulls, a Knicks videotape, and a starter t-shirt. For information about this and other second-half mini plans, call 212-465-JUMP. T-shirt, too? How can you go wrong? What a deal.
Felton Spencer back on the floor for Minnesota. The Knicks with their biggest lead of the night, 14-point margin, 79-65. 3 minutes gone by in the 4th. Leitner trying to put moves on Smith, who's played him well. Here's Williams. Well, Michael Williams hits with only 3 remaining on the 24. Knicks by 12. Anthony and Starks now in the backcourt. Ewing, Smith, and Mason up front. Starks for 3. Yes. John Starks has had a terrific night in making his return. The shots have been on. He's played very sharp in every department. He's 6 for 9, 13 points after being benched the last 2 games. Here's Michael Williams. The Leitner kept it alive. Spencer is fouled by Smith.
Smith did a nice job. He was on Spencer. The The Timberwolves are putting a little more effort into their play now. One of the dreaded quarters that they have faced this year is the fourth quarter of every game. They have averaged 43% from the field, which is a shade lower than their game average tonight. But that's an area they have to improve on, their fourth quarter efficiency shooting the basketball.
Phil Spencer had done well at the free throw line. Coming into tonight, 17 of 20 from the line. The Knicks 82, the Timberwolves 68. And Michael Williams going for the steal called for the foul.
That's his game. He was number 2 in the NBA behind John Stockton last year. He's in the top 10 this year. But he received a lot of credit, oddly enough, for that style of play. People on his team thought that's all he thought about were steals. He gambled a lot.
Ewing able to get back to it. Starks try to hit Mason. Mason saving it. And Anthony fouled by Williams. Good ball movement by the Knicks continues. They are looking for each other. A lot of cutting, a lot of looks. And that is Chris Smith checking back in. Smith, the rookie from Connecticut, second-round pick, played briefly in the first half.
To break for the Knicks, Williams is a tough penetrator. He was moving very well.
Double team of Ewing. Mason.
That was an invitation from Leitner. He did not come out. He felt Mason was a little out of his range. He was right on that play.
Smith guarded by Anthony, and now on a switch. West being played by Charles Smith. The mismatch is Starks against Person. Here's Spencer. Spencer with the rebound, blocked by Smith. West. And the Knicks on the run. Mason from Smith.
Nicely done by Ewing and Smith.
Charles Smith has 3 blocked shots. Patrick Ewing has 3, with matches his season high. And off the turnover, Knicks get it back. But first, the Timberwolves take a timeout. 6:36 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Knicks with a 16-point lead.
After weeknight Nick and Ranger.
Another tremendous effort by Broughton, King, and Turcotte, and the Rangers lead 7-3.
Rangers started to play better after the horrendous game in Philadelphia once this line got reunited and used a lot. Here you see Broughton as the Penguins take a run at him. He's open, takes the pass. King is on the other side. Turcotte will get the assist as he gave it to Broughton on a nice play. And this line has just played real well for 3 consecutive games. Broughton got Barrasso moving and put the puck underneath the glove. I mean, the Rangers have just rolled here. They played a fine game. And Sam, we were around the team this morning. You could sense that even though they look
Brought to you in part by the
Discover, something to build on, and you see it here.
And the Rangers have built on it.
Our AT&T long-distance shooting numbers don't say an awful lot tonight. John Starks, the man who has given the Knicks 1 tonight. John hitting a 3 a few moments ago, is the leading Knicks shooter in that department as far as makes. That was his 5th of the season. The Knicks only have 10 this year compared to their opponents' 18.
Luke Longley has checked in, replacing Felton Spencer. Timberwolves down to 2 timeouts remaining. Knicks have 4 and a 20. 6.5 to go in the fourth. The Knicks with an 84-68 advantage. Starks. Longley, back pass. Here comes Smith. Person setting for the 3. Anthony with the save. And Mason regroups it. Anthony had nowhere to go and lost it to West. It's a charge. Offensive foul on Doug West.
A break for the Knicks and Greg Anthony, who committed the unpardonable of going into the air, not knowing what he was going to do next.
22nd timeout has been called. .54 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Knicks lead by 16.
You notice the Knicks huddling around Pat Riley are all there to pay attention. Many times you'll see timeout called, and you'll see the 5 starters out there and the other players hanging around checking out the crowd. Pat Riley wants full team involvement at all times.
Minnesota Timberwolves, record of 2-6. They've lost 4 in a row. They're 1-4 here at home. Knicks trying to stop a 4-game losing streak on the road. They won opening night in Atlanta, then lost 4 straight. And the Knicks seeking to go 7-up and 4 down, making 3 straight wins after losing 3 in a row. Patrick Ewing has been unstoppable. He now has 30 points.
Fortunately for him, when he goes up in the air, Longley doesn't go up as well. He stays stationary, and Ewing has a clear shot at the basket.
Knicks with an 18-point hold. Longley continues to hear it from the crowd. Last touch by Ewing, who is attempting to strip Longley. Minnesota has 4 to shoot.
Many fans here from Australia observing Longley are seeing a different player.
He fires one up with the shot clock running down.
I'm sure Luke is a much more effective player, more impact in Australia.
Actually was during the Olympics. Checked him out a couple of times. Mason drew the foul. I should say Leitner called for the foul. Mason will go to the line. That's 4 on Leitner.
Whenever Patrick Ewing's in the arena, generally the matchup situation favors the Knicks, as it does here tonight. Our Toyota matchup shows Patrick Ewing working in close against Longley. Patrick goes up and over Longley and hits 2 of his many.
Mason getting on the first. Herb Williams checking in for the first time. Herb playing 4 minutes last night against the Bullets. Made his Knick debut against Orlando on Saturday at the Garden. Knicks lead now by 20 points. Here's West. It's the Knicks 88 and the Timberwolves 70.
The Knicks rising here and late in the game. The Timberwolves.
Williams. And Smith had it knocked away. Williams coming on for Patrick Ewing, who departs with 30 points. And the foul is called on Williams. Patrick Ewing, 30 points, represents a season high. Change on the foul. Anthony Mason called.
Little turkey general will get Patrick ready, even more so for the Chicago Bulls. His game is certainly ready for Bill Cartwright and friends.
A long time between victories for the Knicks against the Bulls in regular season play. Here's Starks. Knicks have lost their last 11 straight regular season games against Chicago. Last win was triggered by that controversial last-second shot by Trent Tucker.
who's wearing a very funny colored uniform these days. That of the Chicago Bulls.
Here's Bob McCann for Luke Longley. Luke Longley, the first Australian to play in the NBA. I don't know if they're going to send the scouts back there, John. And a timeout called. So the Timberwolves will be down to their final timeout. 3:29 remaining in the fourth.
I came in to see the new Honda Prelude SI with the dual airbags. I see Danny. I dated him in junior high school.
In this fourth quarter, there's the rookie from North Carolina, Hubert Davis, who has not played this evening. John, he's just too quiet. He just gets on your nerves. See, in this case, I think it's just a matter of not being able to find the playing time.
He finds himself a victim, Arm, of the numbers game tonight.
That's because John Starks did play so well. Here's Leitner. 29 points for Leitner. Hubert Davis has played extremely well, even on the job and handling the point guard position upon occasion. That during the course of the benching of Greg Anthony. And Anthony has come back strong the last couple of nights. So as it turns out tonight, only Hubert Davis and Eric Anderson haven't seen any action. William Strick.
You think it would be out of character for Hubert to call the writers around him after the game and
lash out
at Pat Riley's coaching? A most unlikely scenario for sure.
Starks giving the Knicks a 90-72 lead. 15 for Starks.
The only other game Hubert Davis did not play was the opener in Atlanta.
And now Eric Anderson will be inserted. Williams is fouled. And this is Eric Anderson, the rookie from Indiana. Charles Smith called for the foul.
You know, Marvin, thinking about it further as I go into this mental approach of analysis here, Hubert Davis has done so well. I think that some players like Starks, possibly Anthony, because Hubert's been playing some point guard, could get the feeling that he's become teacher's pet. And by him not playing tonight, it shows that Pat Riley is a very objective player. The plan initially was for Hubert to come off the bench when needed. Certainly not nearly as much as he's played thus far this year.
I think it's a valid point. And Pat Riley would not embarrass Hubert Davis and put him in at this point of the game. See the quote from Pat, who has admired the character and just the overall approach to the game of the rookie.
That statement, by the way, came after Saturday's Orlando game.
And the foul called on Michael Williams for holding Greg Anthony. 2.5 to go. We have hit the garbage time area with the Knicks up 90-74, pulling away in the second half.
Jimmy Rogers is going with the Pat Riley hairdo. Notice that? Big change for him. He always had that curly approach. A slick back look for Jimmy.
Seven points for Anthony. That's Chris Smith checking back in. So once again, the Knicks will hold a team under 100 points. This will certainly help the defensive record. They allow only 93 points per game. That's the best such mark in the NBA. And teams have scored under 100 points in 6 of the 10 games. This will be 7 of 11. Starks took a shot from blanks. The basket counts and a foul.
Good ball movement by Anthony loves to pass that ball, likes to dribble out of a crowd. John Starks ahead of everybody, takes a shot, but makes the hoop, and look who's right behind him, the passer himself.
Took a hard hit from Blanks. Now, in the past, John Starks might have had something to say to Lance Blanks, which in some circumstances would be understandable, but you're not going to see anything at all. No mouthing at all from John. But you know, interesting, you look back at the series against the Chicago Bulls, in particular with Xavier McDaniel all over Scottie Pippen. McCann, the extracurricular talk was almost part of the tactics of the Knicks in that situation, both against Chicago and Detroit. It did get out of hand, but both teams were doing it.
And the Knicks certainly welcomed Xavier's exuberance at that time of year. And as the Celtics would enjoy it now if he got back to that style. The X-Man was benched in the last game.
Minute 34 remaining in this fourth quarter. Knicks lead 95-74. Anthony had a fire with the shot clock down to 1. Later met by a double team. Here's Chris Smith for 3. And it will be Knicks possession.
Interesting sound effects here at the Target Center on a missed shot.
I don't hear anything, Joe.
Well, I hear bowling pins being spread out.
I believe it's catching up. I mean,
but they do it to the home team. I thought they would limit that to the visitors when they miss.
Turning on the home club. Here's Anthony. Paul Mahalik says we go the other way. Foul called on the Knicks.
Well, when Leitner cooled off, the Timberwolves cooled off. They were within reach and once again failed big time in the fourth quarter. Knicks were looking to get healthy tonight. The Timberwolves have been allowing over 120 points recently. In fact, their last 3 games, those have been the numbers. They haven't achieved that total, but they've certainly played effective defense.
Here's Smith. Anderson with the rebound. Anderson from Anthony. Anderson on the follow. So Eric Anderson scores. And the Knicks now lead 97-74. And for Eric Anderson, that is his first NBA field goal. Starks called for the foul. 36 seconds remaining in the game.
Pat Riley's had the luxury of resting Patrick Ewing here much of the fourth quarter. In fact, so much so that he's in the locker room now. Seemed to pick up a minor injury tonight.
To be hobbling at times. Knicks lead 97-76. So the Knicks will make it 3 straight wins and a record of 7-4 as they head back to New York. Face the Chicago Bulls on Saturday at the Garden.
The crowd urging the Timberwolves to give the ball to Leitner.
Lance Blanks able to hit. Final seconds. Here's Starks. It will count. And the Knicks defeat the Timberwolves by the score of 99-78. Timberwolves have lost 5 in a row. They dropped to 2-7. And the Knicks stopped the losing streak on the road at 4. They go to 7-4 with the victories over Orlando, Washington, and Minnesota. Final score again, Knicks 99 and the Minnesota Timberwolves 78.
On the way in and beats Ken Reagan. Leach with a puck back to the points. It was a good low shot through the screen, beating Ken Reagan. Hurlbut with his first NHL goal. Earlier in the game, he had his first NHL assist. Congratulations, what a night for him.
So Pocket goes off for the double minor. The Rangers cash in with 2 power play goals. It's to 3.
Hey, when Hurlbut retires from hockey and they ask him about his first goal, he can say, yep, in Pittsburgh against the Stanley Cup champions, assisted by Leach and Messier. Not bad, huh?
Peter Ahl almost gets to go in the game. 10-3 Rangers. Season high in goals scored for the Rangers. Season high goals given up by the Penguins. That shot taken by Broughton, stopped by Reggett after the giveaway by Lemieux. Broughton keeps it in. 37 shots on goal for the Rangers. 20 by Penguins. And that's another big plus for the Rangers, keeping the Penguins' shots on goal down. Penguins with a period. Lemieux with a drop pass. Mullen with a shot deflected. Bounces down off the glass. Patrick moves it to King. Fired into the Rangers bench. No, it hit the partition and bounced down.
But a 4-inch partition with a padding on it, and it hit that, stayed in play.
Phil Bourque reached up with his glove as if to catch it, and it went off the partition, stayed in.
Chris.
10-3, Rangers leading it. They led 3-2 end of the first, 5-3 end of the second, and 5 goals here in the third. What a third period.
Now the Rangers bottomed out, it looks like, in Philadelphia, and have come back with
Malcolm X
consecutively on the road in Winnipeg and here in Pittsburgh. And you can sense when you're around this team all the time that it's just coming together now.
Yager slowed down by Wells, shot by Francis, blocked it up.
Won by the Knicks, going away 99-78. Patrick Ewing was the high point man for the Knicks, a season high of 30. Nice tip by Ewing. And a look at the leading scorers summary brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Ewing with 30 points. John Starks coming back from the benching. He missed the last 2 games. Pat Riley sitting him down, but he bounced back with 9 of 14 for 20 points, along with 6 assists. Anthony Mason had 13 points. Greg Anthony with 8. Charles Smith with 7. While the Timberwolves were led by the rookie Christian Laettner, 12 of 17 from the field. He had 15 alone in the third quarter, and he finished with a NBA career high of 29. 15 for West. Person began hot and then went cold, finished with 14, and Michael Williams had 11. We'll be back at the Target Center in just a moment.
There was one thing about Bud.
A save on Tocchet, and looking for the rebound was Bob Airy, and Van Beesbroek stopped him. 3:44 to go in the game. Rangers leading 10-3. 11-3. We'll be right back.
For John and myself, a happy Thanksgiving to you all as we bid you good night from Minneapolis, Minnesota.